Hi guys, welcome to another book review. Today it's kind of going to be like 3 books in one, so it's not usually something that I typically do, but there's 3 different books in this one book, and they're all by Jane Austen. So this includes Lady Susan, The Watsons, and Sanditon. Sanditon has become the most popular, I would say, of her unfinished works, to the point where it's getting, I think, like greenlit for movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But no matter what comes of that, in reality, the book is not finished. So these are 3 different novels that Jane Austen wrote and stopped working on and did not finish, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. And actually, if you open the book and read the introduction chapter, it will talk about these 3 different works and possibly why she wasn't able to finish them, or maybe she just lost interest in them, blah, blah, blah. Now, with the exception of Sanditon, she didn't finish that one because she died. So, yeah, I know, that's kind of a downer. But that's why Sanditon is not finished. And actually, if you think about the plot of Sanditon and the fact that Jane Austen was chronically ill at the time when she was writing that piece, it makes sense as to why she would write a book about a seaside resort where people are flocking to in the hopes of recovering from their ailments, right? So it makes sense when you think about it that way. So Lady Susan's kind of interesting because this is before she experienced any success as an author. And she decided to write, or tried to write, a novel where the characters were writing letters back and forth to each other, and that's a pretty difficult thing to do because you're risking a lack of character development, in my opinion. Lacking maybe some plot lines, getting lost, people mixing up the characters because they're not paying attention on who the letter's addressed to, so what character are they writing to, we don't know, that kind of stuff. But that was actually a very popular trend in literature at the time. Didn't work out for her though. Not her writing style. As we all know from Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility and Persuasion, all those things. So that was a very interesting partial book to read, in my opinion, just because it was so different from her writing style. Then you have The Watsons, which seems to be closer to where, Pride and Prejudice, you have Elizabeth in there. And Sense and Sensibility, those strong women characters in there. So you can see that she's grown in that time frame between those. And then the very last one is Sanditon, of course, where she's already experienced what it is to be a successful author. She didn't really take part in the limelight though. But that's another reason why, realistically speaking, we probably don't know a whole lot about her personal life. And even then, her family had kind of found these unfinished manuscripts and things, and eventually publishers were really wanting them to be out in the world because that's pretty common, especially after someone famous or successful has passed away. They really, any agency or any publicity where there's unfinished work from that artist, things of that nature, it's seen as more valuable after the person's died. It's unfortunate, but that is what happens, especially when it comes to things that people find entertaining: art, movies, books, etc. So I would definitely say, if you're a fan of Jane Austen, consider reading this. No, it's probably gonna mess with your OCD a little bit because none of these books have an ending. Or it's like the ending is a paragraph because she happened to mention to a relative how she had planned to end the book, but she just didn't finish it. So keep that in mind. If you are, however, not a fan of classic literature, then I'm not really sure you want to read this. The only thing that might appeal to you is the introduction, where maybe it talks about her life experiences and what she was possibly going through in her personal life at the time when she was trying to write these different now unfinished novels. So something to be mindful of. I'm a fan of classic literature, so of course I'm going to read it. Anyway, till next time.